The Chicago Cubs force Game 5 on Saturday in a convincing 6-0 win in Game 4. What a fantastic performance by this team. Backs against the wall, advancing our record to 3-0 in elimination game. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan, presented by Fan Arch. I'm so excited to go back for at least one more game. This is house money territory that we're in as Cub fans, okay? The expectation was to get to the playoffs, okay? We got there. We won the wild card round in 3 games. We faced against the best record in baseball, our division rivals, the Milwaukee Brewers. These fans are so salty about the Cubs. It is actually hilarious. And now their backs against the wall. The Cubs have had their backs against the wall for 2 weeks, basically. And now all momentum is going forward for this Cubs team. So let's talk about it. A 6-0 victory. So clean, so beautiful. We'll talk about Matt Boyd here in a moment. I want to talk about this offense figuring it out again. First inning 3-run bomb. I mean, we were going to talk about it here probably eventually. Ian Happ is one of the most confusing Cubs I've ever watched as a fan in my lifetime. I know he's consistent at the plate. I know he's a Gold Glove defender. He's just a switch hitter. You know, those guys are rare. He doesn't do eye-popping things. He just does the mundane things on a day-to-day basis so well. And that swing of the bat, man, that 3-run homer in the first inning might have changed the series, right? I was happy with the win yesterday, getting one for the Wrigley faithful, right? Now, even if we lose on Saturday, Wrigley left 2025 on a high note, right? We've only lost 1 game in the past, I think, 9 games. We've been 8-1 at Wrigley Field, including that St. Louis Cardinals series. I know the previous 3 we lost 2 or 3 to the Mets, but starting that last weekend series of the year, right? Swept the Cardinals, took 2 of 3 from the Padres, and now we won 2 more in the NLDS. And, you know, technically speaking, it's a Milwaukee Brewer home game, but I have a feeling Chicago Cubs Nation is going to be showing out big time. So, beautiful, beautiful win. Let's go over the scoring. Ian Happ, 3-run homer in the first, right? The team has done absolutely fantastic work in the first inning so far, right? And it's been frustrating. You know, the first team to score before this game, they lost every single game of the series. And it's only 3 games, but the Cubs, they scored first, and they didn't let the Brewers cross the plate once. Beautiful job pitching by Matt Boyd. The bullpen, again, Ian Happ, 3-run homer, right? Then Matt Shaw in the 7th gets that little blue base hit to make it 4-0. Beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting. And then Matt Shaw did that in the 6th. And then Kyle Tucker, maybe the swing that puts the Cubs in the NLCS. And you're like, Steven, how does that happen in Game 4? It doesn't, technically speaking, no. But if they let Kyle Tucker get hot, this offense changes completely. You have to believe that. I don't care if you don't want to pay him or not. Kyle Tucker's fixture in the lineup makes everyone just that much better, right? And Michael Busch tacks on that 6th run in the 8th inning to pretty much seal the deal and send us back to Milwaukee for Game 5. I want to talk about Matthew Boyd here, man. He wasn't perfect, but he was gritty. We talked about it yesterday. It was a gritty performance, 4 2/3. Yeah, he walked a couple guys, but he was battling with the Brewers, right? He got out of big-time jams. He didn't let it ruin the moment, you know, like in the first inning of Game 1, right? Like that Nico error led to 4 additional runs. Again, remain calm, remain poised, use that Wrigley Field faithful background to kind of just ease into things, and just did a fantastic job. Palencia came in for an inning in the 3rd, sealed the deal there. Drew Pomeranz, what a freaking signing by this guy, right? He just looks untouchable out there. Caleb Thielbar sealed the deal in the 9th. Brad Keller, I didn't like that move personally. I didn't think he was really necessary to use in this situation. I know it's postseason baseball, and you just kind of want to secure the deal. So I get it from that aspect, but I kind of like to use Ben Brown in that situation. Honestly, I think Ben Brown would have been a fantastic use right there. Get some swing and miss in there, but either way, that's just nitpicking. A win is a win, and we're gonna take that, right? Matt Boyd, man, battled. What a bounce back performance, right, against this Brewers team. Again, one of the best offenses in baseball. But I've been talking about it constantly on this channel. Home runs play in the playoffs. When you look at World Series champions in seasons past, it is the team that hits home runs and pitches well, okay? The Brewers do not hit home runs. They are one of the worst home run hitting teams. They lead the league in infield hits. It's a fun, cute stat. Don't get me wrong. But it doesn't win titles. Do we want to win titles? That's the question. Only one team gets to hoist the trophy at the end of the year. There's no participation trophies. No one remembers who comes in third, fourth, or fifth. It's about winning the whole thing. And I'm not sitting here saying the Cubs are going to win the whole thing. But hitting home runs will help that. And if Kyle Tucker figures this out and brings that momentum to the NLCS and Game 5 on Saturday, yeah, it could be a fun rest of October, ladies and gentlemen. I'm being dead serious. This offense has a lot of potential, and we've been struggling, but finding ways to win ball games. Like I said, straight grinding. The approach at the plate in these games is what's going to win this team the World Series if they do it. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but when we are patient, when we are Freddie Peralta, right? That first inning, he had 28 pitches. He had 21 pitches with one out. When you get to that 3-2, again, general pitching philosophy and strategy, right? If you get an advantage with 2 strikes, they're generally going to try and just like inch on the corner. They don't want to come near in the zone because that's where the hitters make you pay for the mistakes. And so when the Cubs get patient and they force those 3-2 counts and they force the Brewers or whoever to throw strikes, that's when they take advantage, and that's when this offense can be really, really special. And that's what I'm saying. The approach at the plate, the straight grinding. I think it was in the 4th inning. The announcer he said, like the Cubs players, they've had 8 plate appearances of 6 or more pitches. That is gonna do you wonders in this October, right? Especially when managers are quick to yank pitchers, when you use pitchers more sparingly, because that's the other byproduct of this game is the Cubs really got into the Brewers bullpen a little bit and were able to tax some arms. Again, the day off tomorrow, they're going to probably recoup. They're going to do a little bit better, but they still had to go out there and throw pitches. And that is the part that matters in this situation. Even if the Cubs were to, let's say, lose this game, it's going to tax them for the next series. That's the incredible difficulty of playoff baseball. And again, if you're a new Cub fan to all this, yeah, your boy was stressing. And we had a 3-0 lead. I wanted to blank the Brewers. I wanted to throw out a 0. And that's what this pitching staff did. It was an incredible performance. No doubt about it. And just straight grinding, guys. That's what you like to see. The defense did its job. Yeah, the Brewers got hits occasionally, but they spread them across. I don't think the Brewers only had 1 extra base hit, and that was by Sal Frelick in that top half of the 5th inning. And again, they were able to get a strikeout, and then they struck out Christian Yelich, and then ground out. That was it. They wasn't really a threat, and that's what's going to win ball games. I mean, it sounds simple. Baseball's not a hard sport in terms of talking like what wins ball games. The execution is what is downright insane. And that's what this pitching staff did today. That's what this offense did today. And that's exactly what I'm expecting to be brought in Game 5 in Milwaukee on Saturday. And this is my game plan. This is probably not what Craig Counsell's going to do. And I swear, if he goes with Shota Imanaga, I'm going to be furious, okay? I think Shota will pitch in a game. He might pitch in the game, but he should not start. I'm telling you, we need Colin Ray to take the ball, okay? Colin Ray, go out there for 2 or 3 innings. You don't want him to see the lineup more than twice. And then Aaron Savali come in. Those guys have been really solid this whole series, right? They were talking about the Brewers bullpen. They only allowed 1 run to the Cubs. The Cubs have done the exact same thing to the Brewers. The bullpens have been fantastic. It's going to be a bullpen game. It's probably going to be a sweat. Maybe. Maybe the Cubs are just hot and the Brewers messed up. I've said this multiple times. Do not let Kyle Tucker get hot. You might not want to pay him, but I'm telling you, when he's right, this offense is elite for a reason. They hit bombs. They can drive in runs. They showed it tonight. And that's why we can go up to Milwaukee with all the pressure on the Brewers. All the pressures on the Milwaukee Brewers. They had the best record in baseball. They have the special season, right? This is why they've earned the home field advantage. Their fans hate us because they think we spend like the Dodgers and the Yankees, and we really don't. Yes, we have a decent payroll. Don't get me wrong. But this fan base, the Cubs fan base, that's all we gripe about is how the Ricketts don't spend money. How we want to break even, et cetera, et cetera. But the Brewers, they just sit there and say, we're never going to spend like that. We're never going to win like that. Baseball's unfair. You're right. Life's unfair. Baseball's a game of failure. It's a great microcosm. Deal with it. Go win a game. That's exactly what you're going to have to do on Saturday. And I swear, if the Brewers blow this and the Cubs win and advance to the NLCS, I don't want to hear from any of you at all, because the Brewers have the same opportunities the Chicago Cubs do. They have an owner. He is wealthy. He could spend a little extra money, since your front office and your GMs and your scouts and all that other stuff is so excellent. And I'm not disagreeing with that. I think they are excellent. Clearly, they have the best record in baseball. But you know what? If I have a staff that is that good at their job, I will trust them to go out there and pinpoint the players we need to get and spend whatever we need to get to make sure that this does not happen. Okay? Because the Brewers are entering Game 5 on Saturday without a starter. Priester? No. Freddie Peralta? No. Jose Quintana? No. They're probably going to throw out Jacob Mizorowski, and he's electric. Mizorowski's electric. But you know what? He's also been notoriously wild. And it's his rookie year, too. That's a lot of pressure on the Rook in Game 5. Not saying he can't do it. I just like our chances. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's edition of Cubs Daily. I'm just beyond pumped to be here for another game. Even if it's the end of the season on Saturday, I don't care. This is house money. This is house money where we're at. We can take this momentum going into the 2026 season, right? That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to watch this team play another game of baseball. And that's what you should be excited about too, as well. So if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because you know we're coming to you every day, ladies and gentlemen, here on Cubs Daily. Occasional Sundays off. But if we win Game 5, you know we're going to be back on Sunday previewing that NLCS, because the way the Dodgers won was wild. Wild. And again, right, the Brewers complain about us spending money. Guess what? We're going to, if the winner of this Game 5 is going to go up against the team that spent the most money, because they want to win. And I don't blame them for that. But they still got to play the games. They still have to play the games. So I hope you all have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy the W. Fly the flag. And I'll see you guys Saturday morning for the Game 5 preview.